It's almost New Year's, and a lot of people like to make a New Year's resolution where they promise to do something better next year that maybe they didn't do so well this year. And the US funded anti government protesters here in Thailand are no exception. They have their own little New Year's resolution, and it comes to us by Thai Inquirer. And the article is titled Thai Protest Leader Wants to Bring Back Exiled Dissidents by 2022. And this is Anon Nampa, and he is a lawyer for Thai Lawyers for Human Rights. It's a US government funded front interfering in Thailand's internal political affairs. So when they call him a pro democracy protest leader, that's not true. He's a foreign agent hiding behind democracy, engaged in political interference. But even this article admits that these so-called dissidents, those in self-exile and or fleeing criminal charges, are wanted in connection with Thailand's archaic lèse-majesté laws. Article 112 is a criminal defamation law that protects Thailand's head of state. Thailand also has criminal defamation laws that protect all Thai people from being defamed. And are they archaic? And the answer to that is no, because everything you see on this map in blue are countries that have criminal defamation laws on the books. These are countries that if you defame somebody you can face a fine or jail. And that includes most of Western Europe, Canada, and Australia. So actually, having criminal defamation laws on the books, like in Thailand, is an international norm. There's nothing archaic about it at all. So coming back to this article, it ends by saying pro-democracy protests have been called off until next year because of the second wave of COVID-19. Entirely untrue. They were already being called off long before that, and the reason is dwindling numbers of demonstrators amid infighting between various student groups and protest fatigue. And there's protest fatigue because what people in the streets think they're out there for and why they're actually really out there for are not adding up. And the actual protesters themselves are starting to realize that. And then it ends, Anon and several other protest leaders have called for rallies to resume in January. So ultimately, Anon Nampa and the US-funded anti-government protesters here in Thailand, their New Year's resolution is to continue what they were doing this year, next year, dividing and destroying the country, trying to damage the economy as much as possible, to compound the damage already being done by COVID-19. And they even admit there's a second wave. So what are they doing to address this? Promising the threat of political instability well into next year. So that's them. That's the opposition. That's their promise to Thailand, what they plan to bring with the new year. Me personally, not only am I going to continue doing the work that I'm doing, but I want to try to do a little some positive things to balance out this sort of negativity. And what I want to do is I want to kind of document a lot of the constructive projects that people are doing to improve this country. And I want to continue working on projects of my own that I've been doing that are constructive and that are positive and that are adding to the country rather than trying to take away from it and divide it. And if you see anything at all that you're interested in, please contact me, reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to see how we can work together on this. Because it's one thing to point out what's wrong, and then it's another thing to try to do what is right on a day-to-day basis. So that's my New Year's resolution. I have a Patreon account. I'm trying to build a community around that, people that I interact with, and it's also an ability to support my work month to month. It'll allow me to do bigger and better projects over the next year. So if you thought this video was useful, please like and share it. And to everyone, absolutely everyone out there who is helping me in every way, even if you're just liking and sharing, or you're translating, or you're doing subtitles, or you're reaching out to me with kind words in the comment sections or by email, thank you so much. I honestly couldn't do it without you. Everyone, please have a happy and safe New Year's. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, and let's work together to make next year better. And as always, thank you for watching.